Okay, are you getting anything? Okay. See, it tells me it's still connecting, but it's connected to chat. I don't know. Mercury retrograde, whatever. Okay, so I guess this is a good spot. It just doesn't look like it. I've been better. Lost my job at the end of January. Was looking for another one. Ended up having to get my ID changed and had to go to the DMV 3 times to get it changed because I ran out of time the first day. The second day, ran out of time, didn't even get seen. Third day, finally got it. And I walked in and boom, got it taken care of. But, the job I was trying to get the ID changed for to take a drug test wouldn't give me extension, so I lost that opportunity. Hey, happy tears. My arthritis has been kicking my ass. But I'm managing. So I thought, you know what, in the meantime, while I have some extra time in between classes, I'm going to start doing this again. So theoretically, I could make, a higher wage per hour doing this if I was doing this as a job. So we'll see if that works. That's what I was thinking. Although it was kind of weird. They were asking me, like, managerial type questions. I'm like, I'll have to pick some up. That would probably be good for digestive disorder, too. Which really isn't a problem anymore because I had the surgery, but I mean, that's where the arthritis came from in the first place. So that's what's going on with me. Hope everybody else is doing better. Oh, it's in remission. It's been in remission. It's just the arthritis that's related to the condition is what's really wrecking my body. I had ulcerative colitis, but I had an ileostomy done 7 years ago. Fun times. Yep, now it's just, my immune system likes to attack my joints. I appreciate the help, though. Yeah, I hope so. I didn't have too many problems when I was in South Carolina. Had a couple tolerable winters up here, and then this winter has just been awful. So, I don't know. So, who wants some cards? I've got Legends Tarot out right now. I might crack open the Gilded Reverie, but I haven't used it, and I have no idea how to read Norman yet. Yeah, it's the wet and really gets to me. I didn't even have problems when I was like homeless living in my car down in South Carolina, so I feel the rain coming. It doesn't even matter if it's warm. I can feel when it's going to rain, so not fun. And this weather has just been crazy this winter. More than usual. Yeah, I used to think it was funny when my grandmother was saying, she could feel it. Not so funny when you're feeling it. Sure, you can ask a question. Hey, you can have all our rain, Pam Bam. I know it's dry and hot down there. I'll trade you. You come here and I'll go down there. Okay. Timing is one of those things where it can be pretty vague. Okay. Never mind. The tower. Sudden change. Okay then. In this deck, the tower is less destructive. It's just like, boom, sudden change. Never mind about, timing being vague. Okay. It might be one of those when you least expect it. If you're sitting there waiting, it's going to seem like forever. They were talking on that Great British Baking Show how the few seconds before the judges give them the verdict feels like a longer time than the time it took to bake the stuff. It's nuts. Doctors here are kind of mixed bag. I got kicked out of the pain clinic because I didn't want to do stuff that had nothing to do with my pain, and they kept giving me stuff that had horrible side effects. Hey, Becca. Oh my god, my poor little raccoons came last night. Their poor little feet were so cold because it was like freezing rain and snow on the porch. But they came and grabbed some bread and ham. It was so cute. I got a short video I put up. But I felt so bad for him. I'm like, I know, you're freezing. But they're getting so big. So big. Like, their little paw prints are like 4 or 5 inches long for the back ones. So I think I got them pretty well through the winter. Nice and safe. And to their left. Oh, that's lovely. Don't you love it when cats beat you up? So, okay, you're looking for, come on, chat. Okay, the chat won't let me scroll up for some reason. You wanted to know his job? Not all of it would do that, though. Different strains have a different balance of the chemicals in there. There were some strains that gave me a headache, but the headache could also be because whatever you tried before, if it was not properly flushed with the growing chemicals, that can cause a headache too when you smoke it. So, if you eat it rather than smoking it, that actually bypasses that problem too. But yeah, I've had different strains cause more problems than what it fixed. It took me a few tries to find what works. I wouldn't completely discount the idea, especially if you're going to go for edibles, which are probably better. They take longer to kick in, but once they kick in, boy, did they kick in. I once ate 2.5 cookies when the lady who sold it to me told me eat one or maybe just a half. I was a floating head. I felt nothing but my head. So crawling up the stairs was fun. I didn't feel any pain. It was a very disorienting feeling. So I kept to the dose it told me after that. But I was like, oh my god, I'm having such a horrible day. Let me just eat 2.5. No. Only thing is the taste. If it's not something strong to overpower the taste of it, it kind of makes me gag. But, well, the edibles last longer for me. It's just, you gotta find the right ones. Amaris Cunningham. That's a new name. So, sure, right after I finish with Happy Tears. You wanted to know his job. And what else, Happy Tears? Something to do with the sun. He works outside. Or he might install solar panels. I mean, what? And he looks like a unicorn. No. Yeah, I don't know. That kind of popped in my head. Solar panels. Might install solar panels. I don't know. But it would be something like outside. Like, he might have a natural tan. Which, if you install solar panels, you'd definitely get the natural tan. I don't know. Let's see. So, I'm thinking if he does work outside, it's more of a physical job. So he's definitely going to be buff. In good shape. Maybe a little older. Yeah, I don't go for buff myself. I am so not turned on by muscles. But, a lot of times the universe has a good laugh and delivers us a perfect partner in the type that we don't usually go for. Like, oh, this person's totally not my type, but for some reason I'm drawn to them, kind of thing. Oh my. Star. And she's holding up a dragon's egg. So, you might know this person. You might actually know this person, but not consider them just yet, and you don't realize that they are what you've been wishing for, which doesn't normally go with the star. But like the dragon's glowing inside, and she's staring at this egg, but she doesn't really know what he looks like yet. I mean, it is your wish fulfillment, but you don't see it yet, is what I'm getting. Oh, come on. I don't want floor cards. I hate it when they go on the floor. That one was enthusiastic. Knight of Cups. Like I said, you may not realize you know this person. You may have run into them, maybe made an impact on them, and they just haven't come to you. So we've got the wolves and the hunter there from the Knight of Cups. So he's pulling back his arrow and going to shoot. So if there's someone who's interested in you, okay. Then they're soon going to be making a move. Four of Swords. They've been holding back and in a period of rest for a while, for whatever reason. Or, like I said, if he works outside, the winter season's probably more of a dormant period for his business. He might even be a business owner. Let's see what else. Oh, come on, really? Why do you have to fall on the floor? I really hate it when they go on the floor. Okay. 9 of Pentacles. Oh. He might have also been trying to grow his business. So, if he's been more interested in running his business, he hasn't been pursuing anybody. And he's been focused on that, but he's finally at a point where he's got his business where he wants it, or his career. And usually, guys typically want to feel financially stable before they make any emotional investments. I don't know if that's hardwired or conditioned. Who knows? 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, I say. See if anything else comes up. He might have a few gray hairs here and there. Not obvious ones. Ace of Wands. So, you know what that one is. That's phallic. So when he does make his move, he'll be pretty assertive about it. Oh, come on. Okay, well, half the deck just went. So I think... Honestly. It's been one of those days. I had to go to class today, and the dean of the department for the class that the teacher left spoke to us like, oh, we're looking for another teacher. I'm like, why don't you just give us a refund? Give us a refund for that class. Nah. It's all right. It's not even midterms, and she left to take another job. Suddenly. Which I didn't think she could do that, but I think she was just an associate professor. Well, I mean, you can get gray hairs when you're younger, too. I know people have gone gray younger. But when I see gray hairs, I think a little bit older. I mean, he's not college frat boy, basically. Sylvie, I'll get to you after, I think, was it Cunningham? Something Cunningham was next. But yeah, Happy Tears, I honestly think, I don't know, not necessarily roofer, but I think, I just keep thinking, like, he might install solar panels. I don't know why that's sticking out. But, you know, definitely see someone who's got a tan and he's got muscles. He's fit. So, let me know. I mean, he may have been installing in a neighbor's house and saw you, or where you work or something, or you cross paths and you just don't notice him. And he may not have acted like he noticed you either because he was so focused on his work. Yep, he's at a point where his work is stable and he's ready to reach out to whoever strikes his fancy, and he's definitely attracted. So don't be surprised if he wants to move fast. As long as there's no red flags, go for it. It's gonna be sudden. Keep me updated. All right, who is next? I don't really trust the chat room count. Sure, Pam. Let's see if that Cunningham one is still here. Oh, there you are. All right, let's see. David. The only reason I remembered your last name Cunningham is because there's a business around here, Cunningham Shaner. I'm terrible with names. So, how does David feel? If any of y'all want a more extensive reading, like with multiple decks or anything like that, you gotta PayPal me. But I haven't been live in like months. Alright, come on, David. Huh. That's weird. I've never seen your name before. So, we get 9 of Cups and 2 of Swords. So he's got a decision to make about something he really, really wants. And I don't think, unless anything comes up indicating, I don't think it's third party. Well, maybe it is. 3 of Cups. He maybe have feelings for other people. He may not be sure. He may be in the midst of leaving a karmic situation. Or trying to work out feelings he might have for a friend. Or you could be that friend. If this is someone you have like a platonic thing going on with right now. But you think there might be more, then that could also explain 3 of Cups. Oh, see, that explains it. So, right now, he's not sure if he likes you more than as a friend. And he's trying to figure that out. He really, really values you as a friend. And he enjoys the time you have together, but he's wondering if there could be more. And of course, there's always the fear of ruining the friendship if things go south in a romantic sense. A lot of guys are afraid to romantically pursue female friends that they're, that they have good solid friendship with, which is ridiculous because friendship should be the basis of a long-term relationship. Queen of Cups. He may see you as someone above him. As someone more emotionally mature than him, perhaps, or just he really looks up to you. And he might be afraid of not measuring up, which doesn't make sense with the cards just yet, but that's kind of the sense I'm getting. All right, look, I'm not taking half the deck, guys. There's a lot of confused energy coming through here. Like, he might think you're out of his league or something. for whatever reason, like he's afraid that that wouldn't be an option because he's not up to your standards. Ace of Pentacles. He wants something solid. So there might be a shift in the way he approaches you. He wants to be around you more. But he may not necessarily make an emotional offer. He may just want to spend more time around you, which, you know, could be a little bit frustrating if you're waiting for him to make a move. But I think the more time he spends around you, it'll be just inevitable. He will eventually feel the need to express himself. You might just have to work up the courage to do so. Oh, come on now. So if he starts, you know, asking you to hang out more, you know, unless something really important's going on, I would definitely go with the invitation, you know. And then if something else is going on, you know, try to reschedule it. Say, look, you know, I got this thing going on, so can we try a different time? So he doesn't feel rejected in any way. Yep, Judgment. Tried to flip over before. Like, what I'm getting here is a sense of not necessarily low self-esteem, but when it comes to you, he's judgmental of himself because of the way he feels and the kind of friendship you have. And he might, like, I'm getting that you might have told him about your exes, and he might be comparing himself to your exes in some ways, like negative traits that you might have complained about, that he might be exaggerating in himself, which is making him unsure of himself when he might not normally be that way. Like, he might seem perfectly confident, but, you know, gradually he's kind of started feeling a little insecure around you. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, that looks like a good outcome. Got the Lover's card. So, that tells me eventually he will come out of the platonic feelings and have a more romantic connection with you. It's just, you have to find some way of reassuring him that you see him as an equal, that you enjoy spending time with him, and any flaws he talks about, find a way of making him feel more positive about them. Because I think he does open up to you a lot. But he's made note of things you've complained about the past. So, reassuring him that you don't think he is like the negative exes that you've had would probably be enough to push him towards making a move. It's kind of funny how guys can get so insecure. You know, they're perfectly fine, and then, you know, they start catching feelings and they turn into a huge mess. Just, you know, so I think it's partially because of society, you know, not wanting guys to be emotionally expressive. so they find excuses not to. Come on now. Are we back? Oh yeah. Always. Mercury retrograde. My God. Come on now. Are we back? Oh yeah. Okie dokie. Don't need to hear myself in the background. Okay. Like, it doesn't even say I'm connected. It's just that the chat is. I don't know. I'm used to it. This year so far has been nuts, so. Alrighty, let me shuffle a little bit. And after Sylvie, I'll do Pam. It's like 17 degrees out, guys. I've got the heater running in the garage. My grandmother had this little portable heater thing, and it's barely making it tolerable out here. Oh my God, it's so cold. But I really don't have a space set up inside for this, so. I'm like numb up to my knees. It's cold. Well, I figured people would want them, Joe. I mean, single people at least. The people who are in happy couples already know what's going on, and unhappy couples probably know too. So, what's up with you, Joe? You been alright? Alright, Sylvie. Really? Really? Okay. You've got Judgment and the Eight of Swords. Oh, Lord. What is going on? Some harsh stuff going on with you. Oh, I might survive. I have to go to Walmart when my mother gets home from work tonight, too. She doesn't want to go alone. But hey, I might get some Valentine's gifts out of it. I don't know if there's been arguments or what's been going on, Sylvie, but... Or if they've been dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe I don't know if there's anything legal or if it's just a whole lot of stuff going on with that person. Like a huge mental burden going on. Temperance, be patient. We're saying be patient and let this person work through what they're working through. And you could offer to be the sounding board or support. However, they have to handle their own stuff. Don't interfere. Even if you think you're trying to help, it's something they have to work out. Yep. 10 of Wands, a whole lot going on, and it's some energies that they have to get rid of with the 8 of Cups there. They might have to be cutting people out of their life, and you don't want to be caught in the crossfire. They may feel so overburdened that they're ready to just cut people out right, left, and center. King of Cups. But he's doing this in order to get to a more stable emotional place. So when he's done dealing with all these trials and tribulations, come on now, stupid little phrase, he will be in a better place emotionally. I would expect nothing from him right now. Almost expect to be shut out. And it's not that he doesn't care necessarily, it's just he's dealing with a lot. So you got to give him a chance to work through all his problems and to cut out the burdens that he has. Yep, 4 of Swords. He needs to take a rest. He's going to need time to recover from all these burdens, but his aim is to become an emotionally mature man. So there may be a person he's trying to cut out. There may be people. There may be situations. Could be work. Could be health. Could be anything. But there are a lot of stressors in his life right now. And he feels overwhelmed. And unless you are there, offering support and, just letting him vent, if he chooses you to vent to, there's really not much you can do. Other than just, be patient, give him his space if he wants it. Because otherwise, you could end up being cut out as well. Because he does not need any more stress. So if you're offering advice that's not asked for, or pushing him to open up when he doesn't feel comfortable, then that's not going to be good. That's what I'm getting. I don't think it's necessarily that, but it's a possibility. 5 of Cups. There's some that, like, some sort of regrets he's having about something. He's very focused on everything that's going wrong in his life right now, and he's not in a position to look at anything positive until he gets to the point where he handles all these burdens and cuts out the sources of them. So right now, all I can say is just be patient. He is becoming the King of Cups. So, if he has feelings for you, eventually, he will be at a point where he could express them. If he doesn't, he doesn't. There's nothing you can do about it right now. Because he's just so overburdened by situations in his life. Sometimes the best thing is just to give someone space, Even if you're trying to help them and, they may not appreciate it. They may not see it as help. They might just see it as another stressor. And, unless you want to be cut off too, or him to get frustrated with you, then you just kind of... He doesn't know right now. Right now, his mind is on everything but feelings. So, he is not in a position to even assess how he feels. So the way you treat the situation is going to have a lot to do with how he ultimately feels about you. If he reaches out to you for support, be supportive. But I wouldn't try to, nose in on his business and offer advice he hasn't asked for. Guys can be a little territorial about that stuff. Even if you were in a partnership with someone, they don't always appreciate advice, no matter how well-meaning it is. No matter how tactfully you put it, they don't always take it well. So, someone you're not really connected to romantically, I just leave him be for now. I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but Pam, you still around? What would you like to know, hon? This? Oh, Lord. I kind of want to say Amazonite. It's funny, the professor who's leaving the college geology in our first lab, I guess 90% of the stones based on just knowing them because of the energy. It was kind of funny. I didn't have my lab book, so I'm like, I don't know, I'm just going to guess. And she's like, good. I'm like, yeah, well, my poor lab partner didn't have his either. His had been ordered in, and he is still waiting on it. And it's like, neither one of us has a lab book. So I'm just going to guess, and got most of them right. Just missed the hematite, which was weird because I've never seen it in the form that she had it in the lab. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Huh. I don't know, Pam. A weird connection? I mean, how do you know he doesn't? Maybe it's weird because he does. But he's in denial. Guys can be in denial too. You know, if you're intimidating in any way. Hanged man. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, but words versus actions. Someone is like a closet romantic. See how she's kind of curled up and like... I don't know if you can see that, if it's focusing or not. But she's like looking at this rose and like got her wings wrapped around her. Like seemingly cold, but secretly a romantic. So that's you. So maybe that means you need to be less of a closet romantic. Good day to capitalize on it. Kinda, I guess so. Like, I just watched Missy go live, Saltwater Heels, and she's an aqua, and she gave me a cold bitch. Oh, Lord. But yeah, she's actually secretly romantic, so yeah, that might be it. She is funny as hell. I love her. I was about to go live, and then all of a sudden, I saw on Instagram, like, no, I gotta catch Missy. It's kind of funny. Some of the things she said resonated, so I needed to hear that. So, this is you. And I think, you know, it's one thing to, you know, dial it back when it's not appropriate. But I think days like today, you can be a little more expressive of emotions. You know? You get a free pass. So if there's someone you have feelings for, and you've been nervous about it, you use today as an excuse to say something. And then you can always be like, oh, well, it was just Valentine's Day, if they don't take the bait. You know? Brush it off. No harm done, right? But if they do, there you go. There's your in. So wait a second. Didn't I say a while ago there was someone that you hadn't seen in a while that you were going to see again? But something about the timing must have been messed up. Not him, but connected to him in some way. Like some sort of connection with him, like he's... Like, there is some link between this person. Why don't you say, look, if this person you have any feelings for, say, I wish you would visit me more than once a year. Or this person that is coming in might be somehow connected to that person. But it never hurts to, take that step and say, look, I'd like to see you more often. Even if it's on a platonic level, you can, be like, look, I missed seeing my friend. I don't want to see you just once a year. No harm in that. And if the person you're meant to be with is connected to that person, the more often you see this person, the sooner you're going to meet the other person. So maybe next time it'll be sooner and he'll bring a friend. And boom, there you go. I am getting nothing else. Oh, the Hermit. Again, you. Queen of Wands. Take action. You have to take action. Like, you have to show more of your passions. You are way too closed off, Pam. Seven of Cups. If you do that, you'll see plenty of options. Well, then it probably is someone related. Not related. Okay, maybe that was a slip for some reason. Might be related to that person. Or, good friend. Three of Cups. Yep. Next time he visits, I think he'll bring somebody. Somehow connected to that friend that you rarely see. But you have to be like, show your passionate side. When this person shows up, show your passionate side. Don't be nervous. This friend of yours would not bring someone around that's not good for you. They're not that kind of a friend. If they bring them into your circle, that would be good. Hey, Topaz. Hey, darling. Hey, Champagne. Ten of Swords. Stop worrying, Pam. Like, holy shit. All the stuff that you're worrying about is blocking you. You are so worried about all these things. That's what's blocking you. It's causing you to close off your heart chakra. And that's why, you're blocking your blessings romantically. You gotta open up. Stop letting all this other shit weigh you down. Like, what the hell? Yep, the Emperor. Whew. Hippie type? Maybe. Composed. Definitely getting like hippie type, like a druid. He might actually be an actual druid. Or indigenous type. But a very natural kind of spiritual energy. That's what you're looking for. But he's definitely connected to your friend. And next time you see your friend, then you'll make the connection. That's so weird. Like, just, yeah. But you're gonna have to be like, your most open self. Zenny. Lord. Joe, I've missed you and your funny, funny ways. Man, I miss TL's lives, Like, we just always had a good time on Sunday nights. Even if the cards were harsh, we found ways of making each other feel better. Y'all, if you haven't watched Topaz Zen's little oracle readings, they're short, quick, to the point, beautiful, great cards, and she's giving away Moonology deck this month. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure I entered for this month again. Pretty sure. I really need to get more connected with, like, the moon cycles. Something tells me. Love to win it, but if I don't, no big deal. Yes, I know. He gave me a reading, like, in between when I had an interview with Sheets, and that didn't work out because of ID issues, but, like, yeah, it was kind of weird. Like, I felt like there was something else going on behind the job offer, but, like, Tower showed up and all that stuff, so I don't know. It was kind of bizarre, but we had, like, a 2-hour session. I was literally talking to TL for, like, 2 hours. And it wasn't just a reading. It was, like, kind of bullshitting, brainstorming, all kinds of stuff. It was actually really nice. I miss his voice. Like, his voice is just so soothing. And his energy is so much healthier now. Like, New Zealand really agrees with him. I think he's had a great time down there, and, it was good reconnecting with him. And then I kind of got distracted, filling out my background check information. I had to look up all my old addresses, so I kind of stepped away from the live when he was running it. And wasn't paying attention, so I missed a lot of it. I should have probably waited, but you're welcome, Pam. Topaz, it is so worth it. Like, I'm Patreon member with him, so occasionally I'll be like, yo, I need some input, and, he'll send you a file. He'll, like, record it. He does it on Zoom, and then he records it and sends you the recording afterwards. But it's really nice. Like, he gets into it, and, he'll sit and bullshit with you, too, so. Had an interesting chat. So, yeah, I toss him a little extra every month for, when I eventually need some insight. I know he's going to spend some time with me when I need it. He's great. It's kind of funny. He's always talking about how damn smart I am, but, he put out, like, a finance book. That would still be kind of, oh, you saw him for coffee. I was going to ask if you were able to, like, meet up with him. I would love to see him in person, like, if he comes anywhere near here, any of you guys, like, seriously, anyone from the tribe, I would totally love to meet up with you. Like, there's a bunch of readers I would love to meet in person, too, like Gazelle. She's up in Niagara Falls area, so, if I ever get some free time and can go up there when maybe the weather's nicer, I'd love to see her, meet her birds and all that. And, if I ever get to England, I'd totally go see Gregory Scott. And maybe Gemma. I don't know. Gemstone Tarot is pretty cool. But Yeah. And Missy and Sal. Totally would love to meet them, but they're probably more of a buy a ticket for their meetup kind of a thing, you know. Yeah. Gregory actually mentored Gazelle Tarot. Laura is she's so cute. Like she has such a soft sing-songy voice, and like her accent is precious. It's so precious. You really need to check her out. Like she's got these doves and other birds, and they help with the readings. It's so cute. Like she's got two macaws and an African gray and a whole bunch of doves. Like she's a bird sanctuary in her apartment. But yeah, she mentored under Gregory. So she knows her stuff. And she is just so sweet. Gregory's awesome too. Like I caught a little bit of his live earlier, but he had so many people bombarding him. And he's like, okay, stop with the donations. Like, I was just checking in with you guys. Nice, nice. I can see that. Huh, I should have him look into my past lives because, I mean, I've had my mentor kind of like nudge me, and I know some of them, but I feel like I need more of an explanation of some of them, you know? I didn't know he dug into past lives. I was actually a doctor in one of my past lives where in the time when bloodletting was a thing and it was like the cure for everything. It was the new go-to cure for everything, which killed a lot of people, unfortunately. So whenever it was such a, popular thing to apply leeches to a person in order to try to heal them, that's when I was a doctor. Interesting times. I mean, yes, but no. If the leeches are sucking it out faster than your body can replace it, you kind of got a problem. So. You were probably before even patent medicines were a thing. Yep. Yep, not a lot of people know that, Joe. You know some interesting trivia, don't you? So the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, what? Johnny Depp was excellent in that movie. Just saying. Not that he's not excellent in everything. Yep. It's funny, some of them are red, white, and blue, though. I've seen red, white, and blue. But, oh my god, and, the short amount of time between, like, when we had, like, literal snake oil salesmen to now, like, wow. Really? Have you seen how medicine has changed? Not for the better, necessarily? You watched one video. Creepy trivia with Joe King. You should start up some videos and find creepy trivia to share with everybody. Barbers and bloodletting. I mean, they already had the razors. Why not? If you have the equipment, use it for something else. Well, let's just say I didn't really need a lot of leeches. I've had some interesting lives. Princess Bride, really? That's out of nowhere. Oh, I see. Uh, actually, yeah. I forget all the herbs that I smoked, and holy shit, I was not prepared for it, Joe. Be very careful. Like, if you do chemically induced past life regression, be careful. Because it will hit you super hard, and you will be like, oh shit. I mean, there's other methods, but I was like, oh yeah, I want to know about my past lives. And I went to the local witch shop, literal witch shop. They had hundreds of herbs and stones and witchy stuff in their home on the other side of like a duplex. Like underground business kind of shit. Okay? You had to call for an appointment. And you had to know somebody who was a previous customer in order to get the number to call for the appointment. That's how underground they were. Okay. But they had there was like mixtures they made, and they put them in bags, and they listed what was in it and what the magical purposes were. Yeah, you can do through hypnosis too. But I got this, I'm like, oh, past life regression. And I was like, be careful with this stuff. Even though they said be careful, I was still, really, I was shook. And it was just a whole bunch of, it was chaotic. Right. But these people, so underground. They actually, I think they got in trouble for avoiding taxes or something because it was a residential zone, not supposed to have a business. And trust me, considering the amount that they sold, I'm sure they had quite a bit of income from it. But yeah, I still have, I have a whole box of stuff. Like, it's an old jewelry box that I had kept all my magical stuff in. It's in storage. So if I get down to storage eventually and find out, I think it had something to do with lion. There's lion in the name of it. It's an herb with the name lion in it. That might narrow it down for you. Oh, I found out a bunch of them, like Egyptian one where I was beheaded. I jumped out of a window and then was chased down and beheaded. One where I was a jewel merchant for, the royalty, and I came from, Persia. I had a thing for one of the princesses, but, the jewel merchant isn't good enough for the princess, of course. Even though he has all the best jewels. That sucked. I had a thing for absinthe in that life, too. The real thing. And I've actually met some people that I had crossed paths with in previous lives back then. It's like, oh yeah, we actually had this past life encounter. It's like, oh yeah, you haven't changed. Some of them haven't. Some legit demonkin. Like, you know, you've heard of angels on earth, people who are literally angels in human bodies. There's the other side, too. I've crossed paths with those people as well. And let me tell you, they're interesting people. They will bring the chaos. Definitely bring the chaos. Ancestral DNA does carry the patterns. Yes. And some things that you might think are your past life may be ancestral memory. Maybe. But I do think when you reincarnate, you're still going to have links to your DNA past. If that makes sense. Like, souls will try to stay within the same DNA family. Loosely. I mean, considering the size of the population now, and, you know, we all do go back to not Adam and Eve, but, you know, sort of like mitochondrial DNA. It's kind of weird. Watching this thing in, was it the Child's Play class? No, I think it was social psychology. We watched this TED Talk about, I think it was National Geographic running this genetic thing where they're tracing everybody back to Africa. And it's literally like the female side is mitochondrial DNA, and then male side is anything on the Y chromosome. And they can literally trace it back to like 2, but the female human actually came first. The male humanoid evolved later. Like, what? Oh, wow. That's, like, freakish. Like, I had no idea about this until we watched this TED Talk. I'm like, whoa, I would need to look more into it. It's fascinating. Like, if you donate, I don't know how much the amount is, it's kind of like getting one of those genetic tests, only it's put towards tracing the migration of humans over the globe. It's not the same as giving it to one of the other companies that basically owns your DNA and can fuck with it, you know. Yeah, I'll look into that. Like, I forget what it's called, and I don't feel like digging in my book bag right now. It was just a TED Talk, and I think you'll find it on National Geographic website. It's got like a Janetta something name, I don't know. Yeah, those kind of, like Ancestry and 23andMe, they own your DNA after you submit it. So you have to be very, very careful. Because the government takes the DNA and does its own little shit with it. They're really behind the, you know, they're, like I've said before, they have just about traced DNA markers for psychic abilities. Just like there's DNA markers for certain physical risks. Yeah, I mean, your DNA is you. If they're selling your own DNA, that's just Pandora's box, anyone? But yeah, like, psychic gifts run in families. Whether or not they're used or not, that's, you know, depends on society's pressures. But they have found it really does run in families, so they started tracing to see if they could find the genetic markers. And there are some. Yes. And they have done genetic alterations in certain populations with the intent of increasing psychic abilities. Yeah. And y'all know this shit is like classified. This is classified shit. They have records on every gifted person in Iron Mountain. And you have to have very high clearance to access this information. But thing is, they know. Yes, I mean, I'm trying to be discreet here. Certain people. Fuck it, I'm just gonna tell. They look up the MK Ultra and Monarch programs. They have continued that program to today. There are several survivors on YouTube, like Dylan Groves is one of them. There's a ton more, but I think that's the youngest survivor I know that's speaking out. They still do the program, and they do, from infancy, they test to see if you have a tendency towards dissociating during stressful times. So they do these borderline traumatic things to infants to see if they will dissociate. And if the person tends to dissociate under stress, they're a good candidate to be programmed to have different personalities, because that's a natural thing, a step beyond one level of dissociation, to have a dissociated identity. So that's part of it. Genetic testing. If you have certain genetic markers for psychic abilities, that's another factor. Like, if they obtain your DNA and you have certain things that happen and they see results where they say, okay, this person would probably be a good candidate, they will kidnap. They've done it, from young ages up to like teenagers. And it just depends on what age you're brought into the program, what level you're at. But some people, they're born into it. Literally born into it. Where the family was brought into it, and then when they had a child, it's just accepted, Our own version of royalty, I guess, in this country. But long story short, there's genetic stuff that they do. And they will take certain genes and enhance them. They will suppress other genes. And right? I think we've moved on to the truth part instead of the tarot. Why does this always happen? There's what they like to call inbreeding. Incest. And it's encouraged. Incest is encouraged when the psychic genetic markers are strong. Which I find absolutely fucking disgusting. However, if you're in that mentality of, hey, I'm rich and powerful, I can do what the fuck I want, and become more rich and powerful by using this. Exactly. That's the mentality. I'm still struggling with understanding that person's family and all the shit that they were put through. Even though we're not currently talking, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Probably some sort of interference. But, I've been so stressed out with work issues, health issues, and college issues. I ain't got time for anything else. But, it is what it is. At the very least, if the connection is done, I have at least learned a whole fuck ton of really disturbing shit that I needed to know in order to fully engage with my path. Because if I'm going to be a trauma therapist, I'm probably going to be dealing with a lot of survivors of this shit. Being that I've already had several cross my path out of nowhere before I even knew that I was supposed to be a trauma therapist. I just happened to stumble upon these people, and then they open up, and holy shit, really? You went through that shit too? And it's just, none of these people know each other directly, but they're telling me such similar things. It's so fucked up. Yeah, that's true. And truth has a lot to do with your perspective. Y'all know about that meme where there's these two people standing on the opposite side of a number spray painted on the ground? One person's at the bottom of the circle part, and the other is at the top. So one sees a 6, one sees a 9. They're both right. The truth is they're both right. Okay, that meme right there. The truth is what it is, but your perception of the truth depends on your perspective. Absolutely, Joe. They're starting to talk about having like a trauma therapy class in my college. Like, they're adding all kinds of psychology things. Like, I'm gonna have to talk to the dean about adding addiction certificate to my major. But holy shit. There's just some weird shit. Saw a glitch in the Matrix the other day too. I was parked outside a Dollar Tree, 2 identical except for one car had a bug shield and the other one didn't. Exact same model year and everything, same color. Like, come on. Posted it to my Instagram. I said, glitch in the Matrix today. I see that shit. I see that. Plus, I am less than a mile from a MyLabs facility that is masquerading as a VA doctor facility. But how many doctor's offices do you know have barbed wire and high security around them? Probably electrified barbed wire too. I haven't gotten close enough to feel. And why the hell does a dinky little town occasionally have 5G Wi-Fi popping up to connect to? We don't have 5G in this area, supposedly. But I don't know how many times I've gone to connect to my Wi-Fi and it says 5G. And some sort of cryogenic lab, too. Like, it's got its own Wi-Fi. And that pops up. Sometimes they pop up together, but yeah, I've gotten screenshots of that, like some weird cryogenic lab and some 5G shit. That we don't even have 5G. We're not supposed to have 5G. But let me tell you, the Wi-Fi has gotten shittier ever since that supposed 5G has moved in. As well as my arthritis. The more it pops up, the more my arthritis is showing up too. So, anyways, it's not entirely blamed on the weather. Yes, especially since these physical issues just so happen to coincide with the holidays. Right around Christmas. Yule, actually, is when it really, really got bad. And the pain clinic refused to actually treat my pain. They jerked me around. They tried to gaslight me, in fact. The one doctor tried to gaslight me. They were trying to get me on psych meds for pain. Blah, blah, off-label use, blah, blah, arthritis. Fuck you. You're full of shit. But anyways, electronic interference is not good, especially for sensitive people. So, well, I was just talking about on somebody else's reading that Mercury retrograde is a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy thing, where if you are aware that Mercury is going to be retrograde, you're going to start feeling it sooner. You're going to get nervous about it interfering with something and therefore cause things to be interfered with. Because you're believing that something's going to go wrong and inviting that in. So yeah, I was like, yeah, Mercury retrograde's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Plus, attribution error. You're like, things just happen. But you're likelier to blame it on Mercury retrograde. Also, good excuse for bad behavior. Oh, it's Mercury retrograde, that's why I'm craving my ex. No, you have a trauma bond. The trauma bond's been there, you're just used as an excuse. Do you know how many people I see asking for love readings that probably have a trauma bond? If the person is toxic and they're ignoring the red flags. Oh no, we're twin flames. No, you're not. You're toxic. It's a trauma bond. Trauma bond. Leave it alone. And this, people, is why I'm going to be combining my psychic gifts with therapy. I'm going to use tarot cards in my therapy. Because, you see how each card, depending on the deck, has different symbolism. What's that going to do? That's going to trigger memories and beliefs in the person. And the client's going to see, oh, this makes me think of this. Even if you're not doing an actual reading, if you're letting them flip through cards and talk about what they see in the cards themselves, there you go. Kind of like, a spiritual Rorschach test. Which sounds fucking nutty. I promise you it will make sense. Because people's experiences and their mindsets determine what they see in outside symbolism. Like, what kind of a thing that they give to that. Like, one person might really love, like with my clove cigars. Some people be like, oh my God, is that a clove cigar? I remember smoking that in like the 80s and goth clubs and all this stuff. I loved it. Then there's people who have a bad association with it. Smell is especially powerful for triggering memory. Probably the most powerful sense, which is very strange. But smell can trigger all kinds of things. Depending on your experience, that same object can have a completely different meaning for you. So the symbols on the cards, depending on, if, say, the King of Cups reminds you of someone, you're going to see him differently depending on who it reminds you of. So I'm going to be using cards, letting clients choose them if they're not, if they don't have any beliefs that make them hesitant to touch them. I'm going to kind of use that to, trigger some things to talk about. Especially if we're having trouble breaking through some things. Because, the mind wants to block certain memories. So if you have to trigger something to get it out and heal it, so be it. So it's a bit of a bizarre twist. That's what I'm planning on doing. So I gotta stay in the groove with this, I guess. I gotta keep doing this. Keep getting more decks and practicing and learning them so that I can really resonate with them. But yeah, that's where I'm going with this stuff. Because I tell you, a lot of people who ask for readings could probably use some therapy. Not throwing shade, just, being honest. I mean, psychological and spiritual is intertwined in an irreversible way anyways. When you think about it, where is the mind? You can cut open a brain, but that's not the mind. The mind itself is spiritual. Just because the neurons are in the 3D, and you can study brain chemistry and the structure of the brain and all kinds of things in the physical realm, it still doesn't explain the essence of a person running the body. And you really can't separate it. Because, brain damage can change a person. No matter what kind of brain damage it is. Be it chemical or physical. But, on the other hand, you can change your brain by changing your thoughts. I mean, that's kind of the idea behind cognitive behavioral therapy. If the mind decides to change the thoughts change the brain. The more you think about something, the stronger the neurons are going to be for that set of thoughts. That explains habit. If you associate one thing with another thing, those things wire together. It's fascinating. So really, they can be separated. Haven't heard a word from somebody telepathically until now. And he says, holy shit, you sound like a pretentious fuck. Maybe I do. However, it is what it is. The people who need to hear these messages will come, and that's that. If you don't want to hear the messages, you wouldn't be here. Attempting to reconnect. Reconnected. Are you really reconnected? Nope. Liar. Connected, connected? There you go. Good boy. I do still love the interference. It still works. It's just not letting me see what y'all are saying until I switch over to the YouTube, which makes the video buffer. I'm used to the interference, right? So yeah, that's what's going on. Whew. I wish I could put some background music on, but I don't want it muted. I don't think I can access the YouTube music through the other app. I need to get to 1,000 subscribers and bypass the app. But I don't want to go through what TL's going through. Plus, I really don't have the time to dedicate to it. I do still have to look for a quote-unquote real job. Although I don't really have to, since I'm going to school full-time. But, Matrix and all, we need money. Damn this economy. Can we go back to the barter system? It seemed to work out pretty well. Come on now, what are you doing? Bitcoin. Oh, Lord. I mean, yeah, capitalism has its run of doing good things. However, it's the uneven distribution of resources. All resources. I mean, we get in this mentality of lack, of scarcity, and that's just marketing. Because truly, there's enough of what we truly need for everybody, and then some. It's just who controls it. Capitalism creates a scarcity mindset. How does that strike you? I mean, if you go back to the concept of energy cannot be created or destroyed, there's always going to be enough. There's always been enough. It's just what form does the enough take? And who controls the flow of it? You know? Like free-flowing stream versus Beaver put a dam in the river and now it's a lake. Or we built the Hoover Dam. I mean, it's still the same amount of water, same amount of materials, just moved into a different place. You know, all that cement came from somewhere. Those trees came from somewhere. Just because the water's held back doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. It's just where it is. Yep. Diamonds aren't actually that rare, by the way. You've just been led to believe they are. How does that strike you? Anyone getting a fucking diamond ring today? It's carbon. It's carbon, that's it. It's compressed carbon. Same exact shit as coal. You know, the stuff that Santa gives you if you're bad, compress it a little bit more with a little more pressure, and it becomes that pretty little thing that kind of really just looks like shiny glass. So, anyways, we're just saying. And it is kind of funny, like the amount of pressure and the situation, the exact same chemical composition mineral could be under, depends on what it actually becomes. Like, you could have the same set of elements in a rock, and if the rock is cooled quickly, you get one type, and if it cools slowly, you get more crystals, more structure. No, blood diamonds. Point is, you could have two identical people, actual, twins. You put one through one thing and put one through another thing, we completely become different people because of the situations. Now there's the argument for nurture versus nature. You see it in geology. It's fucking fascinating that the situation can completely change what the outcome is, even if the basic chemical structure is the exact same. Charcoal, carbon, diamond. Carbon filters, charcoal filters, charcoal taken to make you puke. Charcoal for cleaning. Diamonds. Fucking really? Like the universe is having a good laugh at us. Like, y'all think this is all different. It's really not. It's really not. It might seem different, but it's actually the same. Dimensionally, it's different. Essentially, it's not. I am not fucking high. Thank you. In case anyone's wondering. Certain people asking me that shit telepathically. I am not high. Thank you very much. I just woke. Y'all want to see a different deck just for shits and giggles? I got this deck from Spencer's. Now, they have quite a few tarot decks. I almost got the Demon Tarot, which was pretty spectacular. I was going to get that for myself, but unnecessary purchases right now are on hold, unless somebody would like to get it for me. If anyone can handle Demon Deck, I could. Just because. Why not? And to make it even funnier, I'd probably put it right beside all my Doreen Virtue stuff. Wouldn't that piss her off? Yeah. Oh, I've had to switch back and forth because the thing, the chat not looking like it's doing anything. Okay, so Spencer's tarot cards, gigantic things, massive. Look, see, Spencer's. No booklet, just massive cards. I like the back though. It's all spacey and stuff. And check this out. I'm gonna do a quick run through. The Fool, the Magician, Warlock, High Priestess, Fortune Teller, Empress, Kalima, holy shit, it's getting weird. The Emperor's the Sphinx, Hierophant, Voodoo, Lovers, Succubus. Now we're getting into the really weird shit. Chariot, Centaur, okay, cool. Justice, Valkyrie. The Hermit is a Yeti. A Yeti? Come on. I love this deck. It's so weird. It's like an LSD trip with like mythology. Love it. Wheel of Fortune, Inquisitor. Really? Really? It's not the Wheel of Fortune. It's one of those wheels. Guys. A Manticore for strength. Hanged Man is Imp in Hell. Death, well, death. Temperance is a sea nymph. Right? A Yeti. Come on. The devil, demon, to be expected. The Tower is a gargoyle, also to be expected. The Star is a tooth fairy. The Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy? I'm telling you, they were on drugs. The Moon is a werewolf. That's fitting. The Sun is a phoenix. Okay, I'm liking that. Cerberus is Judgment. All right, good with that. The World is Ouroboros. The snake that eats itself. Okay. Ace of Cups is a giant whale. Alrighty. Two of Cups. How many times have you heard someone say they're looking for their unicorn? It's a unicorn. Three of Cups is a witch. Okay. Four of Cups is a ghoul. All right. Five of Cups is a mermaid. Oh, come on. Seriously? Mermaid? It's like throwing some shade at mermaids. That's all right. That's all right. Six of Cups is Jenny Greenteeth. Not familiar with this one, but what the hell? Gotta look that up. Seven of Cups. The Loch Ness Monster. Nessie. Seriously, guys. Eight of Cups is a pirate. I know, it's throwing shade at a mermaid. I'm telling you, it's like mythology and all kinds of weird shit. The Kraken. Nine of Cups. No, guys, seriously? And a Leviathan. That's what my cat is named after. His name is Leviathan. Yes. Satire. Page of Cups. A genie. Knight of Cups. Oh, look, it's Medusa for the Queen of Cups. An orc for the King of Cups? Okay, orcs. Cool. I guess we're going in Middle Earth now. Mandragora. Mandrake, I guess, for Ace of Pentacles. All right, cool. Two of Pentacles is an elf. All right, cool. Dwarf for 3. Echidna for 4 of Pentacles. Good God. 5 of Pentacles is a shaman. Arachne for 6 of Pentacles. I remember her. I used to be afraid of spiders, and then I got over it. Gremlins for the 7 of Pentacles. Not the cute little gremlins like in the movie. I actually liked that movie. It was cute. I had one of them as a kid. 8 of Pentacles, zombie. Now, here's the weird thing. When I first bought this deck, I came home and I started sorting it out and I was going to do an unboxing, right? I had 2 8 of Pentacles. And I think I was missing the gremlin. Not sure. But yeah, I had 2 8 of Pentacles. So I had 2 zombies in my deck. It's a very weird deck. We've got, well, it says Frankenstein, but they mean Frankenstein's monster for 9 of Pentacles. Frankenstein was the doctor. The monster was Frankenstein's monster. But who was the real monster? The monster or the doctor? Haha. 10 of Pentacles. Minotaur. Okay. Pretty solid mythology. Baron Samedi for Page of Pentacles. Yeah. Vampire people like that guy. Bit. Knight of Pentacles is a warrior. Alright. Queen of Pentacles is a dryad. A leprechaun for King of Pentacles. Of course, a leprechaun. Who else would be a King of Pentacles? I mean, really? Perfect. Ace of Swords, Quetzalcoatl. Okay. 2 of Swords is a ghost. Well, now that's a little bit weird. I guess if someone makes a decision and ghosts you, I can see how this deck is already going to work. 3 of Swords is an alien. Heartbreak is an alien. What? 3 of Swords is an alien. Okay. Oh, look, 4 of Swords is a vampire. Really? Because they're at rest. They look like they're dead, but they're sleeping. Come on. 5 of Swords is an angel. What? 5 of Swords is an angel. Huh. Okay. 6 of Swords is a harpy. Oh, this is getting a little weird. Cannibal. A cannibal? Really? 7 of Swords is a cannibal. I don't really want to see that. Oh, now we're into more pleasant things. 8 of Swords is a Pegasus. This is good. A basilisk. Now we're into hot Harry Potter shit. 9 of Swords. All right, Joe. Thanks for stopping in. Maybe when it uploads, it won't be buffering. 10 of Swords is a griffin. And now we've got the Headless Horseman for Page of Swords. Really? Okay. Knight of Swords is a barbarian. Although anything that wasn't Greek or Roman was considered barbarian. That's a little racist. Queen of Swords, Amazon. Perfect. King of Swords, Viking. Okay, yep. Ace of Wands is a salamander. Oh, now we're going with animal symbolism. Two of Wands is a Cyclops. Wouldn't he be more apt as an ace? I don't know. Three of Wands, brownie, and not the Girl Scout kind, and not the food kind. Four of Wands, fairy. Okay. Chimera for Five of Wands. Golem, or a golem, Six of Wands. Seven of Wands, we got Egyptian mythology again. The Mummy. Eight of Wands, Hydra. Nine of Wands, Pumpkinhead. Really? Pumpkinhead? 10 of Wands, Dragon. Page of Wands, a necromancer. Knight of Wands, Hanuman. I'm not sure where that comes from. Interesting. Queen of Wands, Lilith. Lilith. And back to Egypt with the King of Wands, Anubis. It's like they took a random sampling of mythology from everywhere, took some drugs, and decided to assign them cards. I love this deck. I haven't even used it yet, and I love it. I cannot wait to see what the hell comes up for people who pick it. Because, oh my god. It's nuts. And I had a nice little conversation with the one girl that worked in the Spencer's. I worked for Spirit, the Halloween store, a couple years ago. Right. Yeah, I can understand that. But, they made those choices. And, there's a little bit of overlap with a lot of the cards anyways, But, overall, it's a pretty fucked up deck in a good way. But anyways, I was having a nice little conversation with the girl used to be my coworker at Spirit that works at Spencer's, and about tarot cards and doing readings and all that kind of stuff. And then yesterday, I was at my tobacco store, and I was talking about, I'm going to do readings, tarot readings for people to make money in between till I find a quote-unquote real job. And she's like, oh, wait, you can do those? That sounds really cool. Gave me her number, and, gotta meet up with her and do that. I rarely do them in person. I'm like, I usually just, do a video and send it to you. Sure, what you want, Topaz? Do you want to go back to the Legends deck, or do you want me to use anything else? Do you want me to do a private reading for you? And cut this off and then do you a private video? Because I can do that. Can go in more in depth and I won't have to be like, oh, I don't know if you want to talk about certain things or not. It's up to you. Yeah, if it's romance, those are on sale for $20. But I usually do 15 to 20 minute reads for $25. But if you want something like with a couple decks or whatever, I usually go up to like $45. It just depends. Like, it depends on how many questions you have, how many decks you want me to use. Just goes from there. Right, Pam? Hey, look, I know people that don't have a job and all they do is do tarot readings and they're doing good, so Nap time for Pam. Thank you for stopping in. It was great to, connect with you again. Because I, miss the tribe and all. If you see TL again before I do, tell him hi. And thank you again. Well, you have fun at that party. I'll do an official unboxing later on. I have a bunch of decks I want to run through probably over the weekend if the Wi-Fi holds up. So I want to run through those and do unboxing and then slowly work my way through the rest of the decks that I haven't done yet. So, keep your eyes peeled. I'll be posting more videos later on, showcasing all these decks so people know what they're getting into before they pick, for the most part. I just figure I should start with the new ones because I want to break them in. And I don't want to break them in until I've done the unboxing. I'm sure he's going to do a live again. Eventually. Just throw me 40, Topaz. We'll get into everything you need to know. So I'm going to shut this stream down, go take a potty break, and come back and we'll connect. I don't know, do you have a Facebook or anything, or should I just email you and then we'll figure it out? I'll just email the name that pops up in PayPal. We'll do it that way. I will be getting in touch with you, Topaz. Thank you, hun. And thank you, everybody, for stopping by. It's been fun. I might do another one later. We'll see. Later, this weekend.